So this is the thing about teaching, you know, progressing students. So I want you to, you know, as the session goes on, just to reflect about what the next couple of years looks like for you. This is a mandatory session for anybody progressing on from the TTT program, and that is new. That hasn't happened before, but the reason is for progressing students, the supports that progressing students are getting has kind of amplified and enhanced. So we've learned as the first group of TTT students started to progress, what we've done is kind of taken the information and kind of analysed the supports that was needed, and then we try to tailor it to any kind of new group coming through. So we're learning as we move, because this is new, it's innovative, it's really pioneering. This isn't happening in every university, but it is here. So we want to make it a success. And look, me as an advisor, I definitely am very, very student-centered and want to make sure that you have what you need in order to be successful. So we're going to go through, and obviously I am, you know, your access, the map access advisor for Minute. So what we would say is, for you to stay connected, I don't know if anybody can hear, but somebody's cutting grass outside. So that's the joys of working from home. So it's not me, I don't know what's going on. But, so I am the map advisor. My email is there, also my phone number is there. If at any point in time that any kind of challenges is coming up in way that's getting in ways of your academic progression, then please get in touch. And I also want to introduce Laura. So Laura is from the Frebel department, and she's going to kind of go through her role as for anybody from TTT who is progressing into that Frebel department. So Laura, do you want to come in and just introduce yourself?
Yeah, great. Good morning, everybody. I'm delighted to be here with you all, and I really want to thank Sandra for asking me to come along. I think I may have met some of you in the foundation course this time last year, actually, when you were just starting off. I came in just to say hello when you were there, and I suppose first of all I just want to echo what Sandra was saying. This is a very new programme or initiative for us in Frebel, and we really are learning as we go. It's only my second year in the role working with TTT in the way that I suppose I am at the moment, but I've been student liaison in Frebel department for the last 15 years, and it's a role I suppose that's a little bit different to some of the other departments on the university. And again, to echo what Sandra was saying, I suppose we're very learner centred within the department, and as a result we've had this student liaison role. So I suppose my role is for all students that come into the department. It's not just for students progressing through different pathways. But I have, I suppose, I have a special role over the last year in liaising with Sandra on a regular basis to make sure that all of the needs that you have within the department are being met. So I suppose what we'd ask you to do is, and I'll be talking to you all as a group when you join in first year, within the larger cohort of first years. But the first thing is really that I'm literally like your messenger pigeon. Sometimes I don't know what my job is actually about, but I know it keeps me really, really busy, right? So if there's an issue, if there's a concern, you can knock on my door, you can email me, my details are there, or ring on the office phone. I'm up on the 3rd floor and I'm the first office, 3112, and you come off the stairs or out of the lift that you'll see. So my role really is to hear what we can do to ensure that you successfully progress through Frebel. Okay, there are structures within Frebel that I would direct you to. So if you come to me with a concern, I might bounce something back to Sandra. I might be saying that's student services. I might be saying actually you have to go to your lecturer with that. When you go to the lecturer, they will then look and see what other supports are needed. So really within the department, if you're progressing through to Frebel, I'm your go-to for anything that's academic, and then I'll be bouncing you back to Sandra, or you can go to Sandra and Sandra will be bouncing back to me. So we kind of were like a tag team last year, Sandra, I would say, weren't we? We tagged. So the message you'll get from Sandra is the same one you'll get from me and vice versa, but go to either of us. But the one thing I would say to you is please go to somebody, because we can't actually help and we can't support you if we don't know that there's something going on. Okay. So I think we're both approachable, and just wish you all the very, very best with your studies as you go ahead. And if you have questions going through, just you can shout them out to me. Is there anything I've missed there, Sandra?
No, that's perfect. And I just want to say, for anybody who's not progressing into that Freble stream as they head into their teaching profession, know that I am your first port of contact. Okay, so always come up for me. What we are trying to do as we move through this is get that, like Laura in the arts department, for anybody who's teaching in the arts, but we haven't just been able to source that right now. So I am your first port of call. So you have the same support system around you as everybody does in Freble. So there's no kind of difference. So Laura is definitely right. We are a tag team. Laura will always kind of bounce back to me, and we can kind of put the structures in place and the practices in place to make sure you're successful as you move forward. So, you know, we talk about what is it we need, what is it we do. It's really just chill. You know what I mean? We have your back, you'll have each other's back, and everybody it's about working in this together. You know, find your way in Maynooth, find your people, meet people, find the balance. Sometimes, a lot of time they think, oh, I just need to do college, university, but also real life has to happen. Okay, people still have children, people still have jobs, people still have other responsibilities. So please find the proper balance, because otherwise you're going to drive yourself absolutely insane. College is just as important as family life, but actually family life is more important than college. College and university will always be there for you, but your health and well-being and the health and well-being of your family, it has to be prominent in your life, and we're just there to support you do both. So supporting student success is very much, like I said, it is about working together. We cannot fix a problem if I do not know there is a problem existing. So please come to me. I always say, try to structure your support is, come to me before you see the problem. Okay, try to be proactive in the support you take, rather than come in and say, oh my God, I've just failed 4 modules. When you knew in December, actually we're having a challenge with kind of one of your modules. So please try come to me beforehand if any kind of challenges is coming up, and we'll work together in order to do it. So now I'm going to throw it back out to you really quickly. Like, what's people thought? What's everybody thinking about heading into this new chapter, right? Because TTT Foundation Access was absolutely fantastic, really successful, but you were very much minded, and now you're into it. This is like the next level up, right? You're coming into the next level up where people have responsibilities. So is anybody? I had in the chat there, somebody's having an issue getting in, are they?
Yeah, it's just Rebecca. If you don't mind, if either yourself or Laura could maybe invite her, she just put a message in there to say that keeps cutting her out or something like that. She can't get in.
She can't get in, or she's just... So if we...
She asked me to invite her. She just said that, could someone invite me to the call, please? It keeps kicking out on me, or keeps kicking me out, sorry.
It's Rebecca Rose, is it?
Yeah, Rebecca Rose Monaghan.
It might also just be her internet, because everything seems fine on our side. I've just called her in there again, so hopefully she'll be able to click in. But if anybody just kind of wants to chat about, you know, what's people's thoughts on next year, or what's people's thoughts for coming in, next week, I guess. Anyone having, you know, challenges, good, bad, and the ugly thoughts? Let's put them out on the table. Let's chat about them.
Yeah. I'm shitting myself. This is Karen. I am. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I did feel very babied last year. Do you know what I mean? And also, I get very lost in technical issues, and say if people aren't as nice to me as the Turn to Teaching program, will that affect my mental health? Like, do you know, if somebody was going, oh, you should know this.
Yeah.
You know, you sort of then I start to say, yeah, you're a bit thick, Carmel, and start putting myself down, and I go downhill rather than go find alternatives. Is that bad of me? I don't know. Does everyone do that, or is it just me?
Anyone else want to jump in? It might be a good time for, like, Amy is here. So Amy is a previously a TTT student, has gone through the foundation course, and who has now progressed up into the Freble. She has just successfully passed her first year Freble, and she is moving on into second year. Amy is also a MAP ambassador with us this year, and so it's good to have somebody who's already kind of done some of the journey that you've just done to just have her thoughts. Amy, what were your thoughts coming in last year, and how do you feel now about it?
Yeah, I was dreading it last year, because there was very little of us in the primary stream, and like to kind of go in, and even then I was kind of the only one from Offaly. Everyone else was from Dublin, so I was kind of an outsider in the turn to teaching then as well. And then I was coming into the Freble and I was like, oh Jesus, like I'm dreading it. But it's not as bad as I thought it was. Like it was grand. And then Carmel, you were just saying you were a bit worried about the technology and stuff. Like you don't really need to be. It will all come to you. And there was a girl, there was a woman, actually she's a woman, she's an older girl. She was in the turn to teaching with us, and she's in second year now as well. And she kind of struggled with technology a bit as well. But like that, the rest of us who were in turn to teaching were very helpful to her. And like we kind of, myself, I go through a lot of it with her, with the essays and the screen sharing. And she had a presentation the other day, and she just asked me to go up and share the screen for her and set it up for her, and I did that. And then now she knows how to do it herself. So like you will have help and stuff. And then I think there's a thing that goes on in the MAP office, isn't there, where they give support to technology. So it's like things like that will all come to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose like yesterday my niece was here and she's just finished Law and Minute, and she was going through like all the stuff with me, and I was going, what? That's on that? I can't believe it. You know, it was just, you know, when somebody, because we missed out on being in class, little things when she was hitting on buttons, I was going, didn't know that button did that. Do you know what I mean? Like, and like I worked with computers, but it's different sections and different platforms are so different, and it's just getting your head around them all.
That's it. Like when I was a student in Minute, I did my master's not so long ago, and I didn't know Teams and 365 was as good as it was. Like I was right, like this presentation looks quite fancy, but actually it only took 10 minutes because there's like a little button at the side that says, can you design this for me? Right? I didn't know that up until I went virtual as a worker. No, I didn't know it as a student. So there's lots of stuff, and as Amy was talking about was the TTP program. And I would encourage anybody who's having kind of, you know, worries about that challenge around technology to join in that. You'll find all the information on that Launchpad page of how to join those sessions. They'll go through everything with you. They'll go through PowerPoints. They'll go through how to click in. And if you are actually having kind of other challenges as well, after doing that and after challenges, then please come to the Access office, because we have MAP ambassadors that's there to support you in this technology transition. And also we have a technology advisor, so she will work with people around specialized programs and specialized software programs that will help you take notes, and you know, you do PowerPoint presentations. If you're in a lecture hall, how to capture notes if you can't. Laurie, you have your hand up there.
Yeah, just Carmel or Amy, you might be able to help me on this one. Am I right in saying that there's an upskilling class in first year for ICT in Freble?
No, there wasn't last year anyway.
Okay, I might look into that. I think there is something you can go into just to get upskilled in that. But Carmel, also just to put your mind at rest, I almost refused my job in Freble when I was offered it, because I was unable to send an email 18 years ago, and I thought, Jesus, if I take this job, how am I going to manage? Because I won't be able to send an email. So if the fact that you can use a computer at all is going to be a great step up, because you're not afraid. Thanks, Sandra.
There is supports there to help you along the way. And also keep in mind that at most first years coming in, whether you're coming in from Leaving Cert or whether you're coming in from outside, if they haven't gone through this, are all in the same boat as you are at this stage. Because everybody knows how to put a Facebook post up. Everybody knows how to stick up a Snapchat. But if I ask somebody to write a professional email to a lecturer, there's absolutely palpitations from students. Because you get there, all right, man, what's crack, bud? Like, like that whole, you know, professional development, everybody is learning right now for that. So look, there is supports in place to help you along the way. If at any point you're still feeling kind of not good about it or at ease about it, come back to me and let me know, and we can get you some kind of individualized support. But I think you'll be fine when somebody shows you, you know, and that's kind of the way in.
And then there's an upskill, or not an upskilling, sorry, there's a digital learning class in first year, unless that's what you're thinking of, Laura, maybe. There's digital learning with Tony. He goes through how to kind of like use supports to teach with it, but he kind of goes through the basics of how to do it as well, so that'll help as well.
Like what I am also worried about, I'm not going to go on because I know time is a factor for people, but like, you know, in the turn to teaching, we all sort of came from a sort of similar background. And now what I'm worried about is, would people be a bit more posh? Is that I'm not...
I mean, I think I know.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like not necessarily posh. Like there's going to be posh people everywhere, but posh doesn't necessarily mean.
I don't think posh is the right word.
I'll pop in there, right? Because it's about standing in your own identity, Carmel. Okay, it's about standing in who you are, and it makes no difference about what does posh mean. Somebody talks different than you, you're gonna go into the next room and somebody will talk different than you. So that's it. As much as we have, and it's kind of something that we try to bring in with Turn to Teacher students all the time. I get Turn to Teacher students coming to me saying, "Oh, Sandra, they're not my people. They're not my people." Who are your people? Everybody should be your people. You know, we can't go into places already assuming that somebody's going to be mean to me because I talk different than they do, right? It's about us as people, as individuals. I am Sandra from Jobstown. You've heard it before. Sandra from Jobstown with a master's degree. Okay, so it makes no difference of where you are. I did a drive time interview last week with Sarah McInerney, right? One of the best journalists in the country right now. And you stand your ground with those people once you are okay in your own self and who you are. Sandra from Jobstown speaking to Sarah McInerney from God knows where, it made no difference because on that day we were colleagues, we were having a conversation, and that's the mind frame you go into when you go in. Because when you finish your degree, or are you only going to go teach in a school that you like? What if there's no jobs there? What if you have to go to Foxrock? You have to be able to stand up and say, I am this person, I have a degree, everybody is getting the same degree. Nobody's getting a different degree than you are. So it's about standing in your own identity, taking a breath and really embracing who you are, and then speaking to anybody. But if we're already going in thinking that somebody is, you know, gonna be different to us, or we're gonna be different, then we have to kind of reflect that a little bit back on ourselves. Take a breath and say, why am I thinking this way? And just really breathing into who you are and moving forward. And again, there's spaces, there's opportunities for you to go on to. I'm going to move on because we're going to talk about some of those spaces of where you can come together and engage with different kind of people. So, you know, in the MAP office, we talk about supports for assistant students. It's broken up into 4 different ways. It's social supports, financial, academic, and personal supports. So our social supports is you're already in it now, right? It's Launchpad. It's the transcription stopped, or is it still going there? I can't see it.
No, it says it's still going, Sandra.
Oh, perfect. So it's Launchpad, right? You're already in it. You're engaging in it now. You will engage over the next 2 days, over the weekend. Engage with the MAP events. We'll have specific MAP My Way sessions for all kind of first years coming in. They'll start in October and they'll go on over the next couple of weeks. And it's just a space to come in, get to know each other from all walks of life, but anybody who is connected with MAP. And we'll also have that for second year students as well, because they didn't get that opportunity last year because we weren't on campus. Now we'll be on campus, some will be online, unfortunately, because that's just how kind of the platform we have, but some will be on campus. We'll come together, you'll chat with each other, bit of a free lunch, you know, a couple of sambos is always a good pull. You're not buying your lunch, but you'll also get a space to meet each other and just chat around fears and worries. But also we'll have the Access Society come in, and they'll run some fun games and fun chats of how people connect and how to get involved. There'll also be targeted events too. So there will be events for kind of mature students. There will be events for anybody who's doing English. There will be events for anybody who has a disability. There'll be targeted events as well. And we also have myself and Declan are kind of developing a new peer-to-peer support group with MAP Access. So any Access students, and you will be connected with a MAP ambassador. And those MAP ambassadors, that's a program, you'll see them, they have designed this whole Launchpad program. And Amy has been involved in some of this in terms of training and development and bringing awareness to it. Like, we have a Launchpad because they were here, they did this. And we've had lots of different programs. We've had the Mountjoy program as well, where MAP ambassadors have gone out into Mountjoy and gotten involved in different initiatives. They're collecting their Goshgate awards. They're off doing peer-to-peer support with other community groups. And that's also a space that I would love more TTT students to come into, because that is about, again, standing in your own identity and giving back to what you have to other Access students, to just relinquish fears. It's also working with schools and community groups as well, to just explain about your journey into education in order to encourage other people in the same boat as yourself. So please, we'll be making a call out for MAP ambassadors, and I always encourage get involved as much or as little as you can, but just become a MAP ambassador, just to let other people know coming behind you that you're here and you went through a similar journey. And then the academic support, right? In MAP Access, we have 4 assistant psychologists within MAP. And what they'll do is you'll come to me and I'll refer you on to one of these assistant psychologists. And not everybody needs to use them. Not everybody goes, but it's only if and when you have this support you need. So they go through organization skills, structures. They'll go through, anxiety around exam time, around, assignment pressure time. They'll find you tips and tricks of how to get that proper work-life balance, and then that college space and how to do that. And they'll also have group sessions as well, that if you don't want to go to a one-to-one, you can go to a group session, and that will be led by our assistant psychologists, but also some MAP ambassadors. We also have a group of academic advisors that are in every department across Maynooth University, every department, all across maths department, FEBL department, geography, science, they're in every department we have. And they're usually heads of department or usually kind of lecturers in department that MAP have trained, and I have trained them myself, just about bringing awareness of students that come through the Access office. So they will know kind of the challenges that some of our students are facing, some of the challenges that they faced before even university, and they'll work with the students to engage in the academic supports that's needed. And then there's also academic tuition. Now, academic tuition will be available. It's free of charge of access through the MAP Access office. That will only be given to students in extraordinary circumstances. So if somebody has had an illness, so like last year, we had a lot of students who came down with COVID. They had absences that they needed to catch up on before exams. We got them academic tuition at the cost of MAP. We also, and we're lucky enough to work with the FEBL department and the Irish department to come up with tutors who have already been on the journey that you're on and know the course, and you will work on a one-to-one basis with that only if recommended by your department. And there's also, if has been a bereavement, if somebody has had a long absence, or if there's really, really challenging times for somebody at home, but they still want to carry on and get the exams done, then we will work with yourself and the tutor, and you'll work together to get you ready for whatever challenge you're about to take. And then we'll also make priority referrals to other services. So academic advisory, if there's an issue or a challenge about module choices, deferring, if you're a repeat student, then we will make a priority referral to Rose Donovan over there in academic advisory, and she'll usually get you in ASAP. We also do one-to-one support from the Math Support Centre with our Map Access students, and also one-to-one support for our Writing Centre. So if anybody is having challenges around referencing, structuring emails, you know, just different kind of like grammar, then let us know and we'll get you a priority appointment. We also have the TTP program, which you heard Ryan talking about this morning at our welcome talk, but I'll just go through a little bit about what it is. So it's 3 classes and it's all online, right? So you learn how to access 365, college emails, and some of you will already know this because you've gone through this last year. You know, you'll learn how to store documents, you'll engage with other people there, you'll find out the resources that can like help you take notes and lectures, completing how to complete your readings. You know, you don't read everything, just skim through it and take proper notes, research, tracking, how to do a proper library search. And then it'll also give you like strategies around how to manage your timetable online, how to organize yourself, and how to keep that in your memory, and also tell you about useful apps that's available on your phone that you could be using for study periods. And that's just, you know, that slide is the one side is how you access the technology transition program, but you can also get into the Map Access webpage. If you click in Launchpad, you'll click in TTP and it'll give you the schedule and how to join. And then we also have the laptop loan. So anybody, the long-term laptop loan, some of you might have availed of it last year. It is again this year, and the number of laptops has increased. So there is more laptops available to people. If at any point in time your laptop breaks, it doesn't have the correct software, it's old, or you're sharing it with your brother and sister who has 3 or 4 people in your house and there's just not enough to go around, please let me know and we'll put you in for a long-term laptop loan. And if you are qualified for that and you're granted that, you will be given a laptop from when you start your degree. You'll hold on to it until when you finish. So you're not giving it back at the end of every year. In fact, you're giving it back at the end of your degree. So then we have our financial support, and I want to go through this. I want to spend a couple of minutes on this because this is different. So this is the different part. So you'll see, and in the next over probably October, when registration is completed and everybody who has deferred is deferring, or anybody who has dropped out or deregistered or made any kind. But once registration has completed in October the 30th, 31st, depending on the day, any student who is in receipt of SUSI, so any TTT student who is progressing to a 4th year degree, undergraduate, you will be given, you'll be sent a link to upload to put in your bank details. You will be automatically qualify for €1,000 financial support. Now this is new, this hasn't happened in previous years. So this is new, this is why Launchpad is mandatory, because this is the same support any HEAR student that's coming through that HEAR route gets. So that when they come into 4th year, they will get €1,000 support to help them support them along their way. And to get that financial support is you have to be logged into Launchpad because it's a part of the support package. Now, anybody who is not in receipt of SUSI, you will still get that. You will still get that financial support. Your route will just be different to it. So you will just have to go back around the same route as student budgeting. But if you came to me and says, I don't qualify for this financial support, but I need support, then you will be into C route within that day or the next day. You will be a top priority. So you will get it like a couple of weeks later, depending on the need. Okay, so that financial support has increased for TTT students progressing, and you will get an email when registration is finished to say input your bank details, and you'll get €500 in the first semester and €500 in the second semester. So if there's any questions about that, please email me afterwards and I'll go through it all with you. And then you also have the student budgeting advisor as well, right? So most of us know Rooch, great, very much like ourselves. As a MAP student, you will get a priority, and as a TTT student, you will get a priority appointment in to see her. So if you come to me on the Monday, we will get you in there by the Wednesday to say, hey, I need this money. And even if you have gotten the €1,000 and you still have financial challenges, please still come to me, because we can still get you in to see Ruth. Just because you get qualified for this €1,000 doesn't mean you don't get any more financial support. You will. The financial support is available to you when you need it. Okay, so please, I want to just reinforce that. And then there's also the scholarships and bursaries, 1916 bursary. There's a slide on that after this that I want you to access as well. Most of you who are progressing onto the TTT students or have come through that access route, you will qualify for the 1916 bursary. So please apply to it. And it's a national thing. It's not, we don't, it used to be assessed in our office, but it's not assessed in our office anymore. It's assessed in a centralized program. So this is just a little more slide. So it's established by Department of Education and Skills, right? And it gives you the whole breakdown of what you're available to and how you're available. And what it is, it's going to be ring fenced. Previously, a student would have gotten €5,000 every year for every year of their degree, but only 10 people from Maynooth would ever have gotten it. This year, what they've done is they've tiered it. So some people will get €5,000 and some people will get €2,000. And how they've done that is to open it up to more people to get it. So more than 10 people will be a 1916 bursary student. But the closing date for them applications is the 15th of October, and that's the web link of how to apply. And you'll be able to access that on our webpage as well. And then you have the personal supports, right? Student Health Centre is if anybody, if you're not in receipt of a medical card and you need to see the doctor, please come to me and let me know, and we can get you into the health centre free of charge. You will have to pay for your prescription, but you will be able to see the doctor free of charge. Anybody who is in receipt of the medical card, we encourage you just to go to your own GP, because that's not an expense for you. Okay, we're truly trying to kind of keep our health centre people for anybody who isn't in the receipt, but also who needs to see a doctor and doesn't have the financial assistance to pay for that. Student counselling services, again, that's another big one that we have referred students to this year. Last year has been really challenging for people. I suspect it will continue this year as well. So if you're having any kind of, you're just not feeling in the right headspace, you feel that you would need to speak to somebody, let me know and I can get you a priority appointment with the student counselling service, free of charge. You are not, it's not an expense to you. And then there's also the chaplaincy services, security, and then, like I said, then Map My Way sessions that will start fairly soon into the semester that we're asking people to come to, get to know each other and just have a laugh and joke and meet people. It was funny when the coordinators were chatting about their friends this morning. I don't know whether you heard them, and they said, oh, I've been friends for a long time. They actually, 3 out of the 5 of them all live in the same house together. So they're downplaying it when they said, oh, you know, they're my friends. They're actually housemates, and they all met through Map My Way. They are now running, they're the coordinators of the Launchpad program, but they're all living together, and they've met each other from first year, first day, first week, and they're still continuing to do that now. And then there's Maynooth University academic support. So these are all stuff that's available that you can just go into whenever you need to go into, right? You can go into the Math Support Centre, go into the library, have plenty of resources there and software programs that you should be able to access. There is the Writing Centre. Please use it. It's a really great resource. And like I said earlier, as an access students, you have the privilege of having one-to-one support. That one-to-one support from the Writing Centre is not available to anybody who is not within MAP. So as a TTT student progressing, you are a MAP student, you are an access student, therefore you will be entitled to that one-to-one support if needed. So it's a great resource and a great privilege to have, because not everybody has it. And then you have me, unfortunately, who is your MAP academic advisor, right? And that is ongoing support. You will have that throughout your degree. Check in with me. I will check in, you know, Sandra, can I come in and have a chat with you? Yes. I have a booking link. My booking link is shared, and I will send it again over the next couple of days when everybody is registered and in. I'll be sending you my booking link. You have the option to meet me in person or virtually. I will be in the offices on Tuesday and Thursday, and then I'm virtually Monday, Wednesday, and sometimes Friday, depending on. And then Money Matters is student budgeting. Please check in. Go to that talk later on with Ruth. I really encourage anybody to check in, how to access that support. And then, like I said, we have Student Central, which is them assistant psychologists that I spoke about. That's my email address, that's my phone number. And again, it's just about connecting, and that is for anybody. And if you're in Frebo, also connecting in with Laura as well. But for everybody, in terms of anybody who's been coming in through that TTT program, I will be your main coordinator for coordinating any supports that you need, including if you are in Frebo. I will coordinate the supports that you need, and we will put it in place. Okay, and myself and Laura do work very closely and connected together. So Laura will come to me and say, a student has come, she's having really difficulty, department has recommended that she needs extra tuition, then it will be MAP that will coordinate that support for you. Okay, so please get involved. And then that's really it. You know, it's really reflecting on why you are here. You know, what education is going to do to you, and what is education is going to do for the journey in which your life is going to take. I had a conversation with our coordinators this morning before we kicked off, because they were nervous and like, oh, what are we going to do? And then we had to just reassure them that you're not just developing a program to help people come into education. Right, what we are doing, and as MAP is what we're trying to do, is we're trying to be a part of a bigger cause for somebody, right? I'm not just supporting Amy or supporting Laura to get through education. What I'm trying to do is work with these people so they can change their future. They can provide their own opportunities, and therefore that automatically changes the dynamic in our society. Right? So now when you come in to get an education, you are part of a bigger cause, and it's a real privilege to do that. And I just urge you and encourage you to get involved as much as you can. And if at any point in time you need something, please reach out to me, please. And let's work together in order to support you, because it is going to be tough. It's not going to be plain sailing, trust me. It never is, right? That's life, is absolute whatever. So just reach out and ask for support.